Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video, we'll be looking at my Monogatari 4-color English deck profile. This deck build runs 14 level 0s, 13 level 1s, 5 level 2s, 10 level 3s, and 8 climax cards. The first card we're going to take a look at is Meme Oshino. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1. If you do, choose a card in your level and a card in your waiting room and exchange them. So I'm running this at 2 copies to fix any color I need and to fix up experience if needed. So that's why I'm running 2 copies of this card. Then the next card I'm running is 3 copies of, let me focus in a bit, Big Backpack Mayoi Hachikuji. It has 2 effects. The first is auto. When this card attacks, choose one of your other characters and that character gets 500 power. Second, when this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you may reverse that character. So running 3 copies of this card. Then I'm running 3 copies of the Way Back Shinobu Oshino. During your turn, all your other strange characters get 1 level and 500 power. Second is continuous experience. If the total level of the cards in your level is 5 or higher, this card gets continuous assist. All your characters in front of this card gets experience get 1,000 power. So it's an assist that gets better as you level at 3 copies. And then the next card I'm running is Sake of Cooperation Shinobu Oshino. If the number of other characters you have is 1 or less, this card gets 1500 power, so it's a 004k. It's kind of how you preserve field advantage at level 0, is to have this and the assist out. So that's at 3 copies. And then for the Brainstormers, I'm running 2 different Brainstormers. I'm running 2 of the yellow and 1 of the red. The yellow Brainstormer is Wandering Girl Mayoi Hachikuji. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. If you have another blood character, this gets 2k power. Second is activate Brainstorm, pay 1, rest 2. Reveal 4 cards from top of your deck, put them in a waiting room. For each climax revealed, search your deck for up to 1 strange character. Reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards. So running 2 of these plussing Brainstormers. And then I only really use it for the Brainstorm effect. And then the non-plussing Brainstormer is Farewell to the Past Hitagi Senjugo Hara. It's activate Brainstorm, pay 1, reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck, put them in your waiting room. For each climax revealed, perform the following action. Choose a strange character in your waiting room, return it to your hand, and choose a card in your hand and put it into your waiting room. So it's kind of a filter outlet from your hand, but also a Brainstorm if your deck, if there's a specific character in your waiting room that you want. So that's just one of. Then I'm running 3 copies of vampire-looking human Koyomi Araragi. It has 2 effects. The first is if you have another character with Shinobu in his card name, this card gets 1500 power. Second is Auto Encore, Hand Encore. So it's just kind of a filler card. 3 copies. And then I'm running 4 copies of our level 1 plussing combo, which is Lovers, Koyomi Araragi, and Hitagi Shinjugo Hara. It has continuous experience. If the total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher, this card gets 500 power and Hand Encore. Second effect is Auto. When this card attacks, if a card named Everything About Me is in your climax area, you can pay 1. If you do, look up to top 5 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to 1 strange character, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and put the rest into your waiting room. And the climax card that combos with this is a +2 soul, so you can really put up the pressure while gaining hand advantage with this combo. And yeah. And then the +2 soul climax is here. Lovers, that's how it looks. And the next level 1 is the backup. It's Inner Feelings Tsubasa Hanekawa. It has auto experience. When you use this card's backup, if the total level of cards in your level is 5 or higher, you can pay 2. If you do, choose a character in battle, and that character gets -1 soul until end of turn. And it's a 1500 power backup with that effect. 2 copies. And then next up, I'm running 2 copies of Blessing of the Moon Shinobu Oshino. It has continuous experience. If the total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher, this card gets 500 power and the following ability. During your turn, this card gets 1000 power. Again, it's just a 1/0 beater card for filler to combo with the other Koyomi beater card at level 1. Because this has the Shinobu in its card name. So yeah, it works well with that one. And then the next level 1 I'm running is 2 copies of Family Circumstance Tsubasa Hanekawa. Let me focus in on a bit. As continuous, all your other strange characters, all your strange characters get 500 power and the following ability. Activate, rest one of your characters. This card gets 1000 power until end of turn. Second effect is, I don't really use it since I don't play the Climax of that in this deck build. So, yeah, I'm going to put that back. I'm only focusing on the first effect for this card. And then the level 2, I'm running 1 copy of Serious Mode Shinobu Oshino. It has, when this card is attacks, if a card named Encounter in the Ruins is in your Climax area, you can pay 1. If you do, this card gets 6000 power until end of turn, and your opponent can't use Auto Encore or any Encore abilities. It's on a 2k draw Climax, so kind of gives that character power to guarantee the reverse. And then I'm running 3 copies of the level 2 change card, Resident of the Shadows Shinobu Oshino. At the beginning of your Encore step, if this card is rested, you can pay 2, put this card into your waiting room. If you do, choose a card named Master-Servant Relationship Shinobu Oshino in your waiting room and put it on the stage position that this card was on. And then the level 3, it changes into Heals. So I'm running that 3, and then the level 3 that changes to is here. I'm running at 4 of that. We'll look at that later. And then the backup at level 2 is the green backup. Burning Girl Karen Araragi. It's a 2/1/3k backup with a strange trait. So that's why I'm running this card. And then running 2 copies of Someone to Protect Hitagi Senjugo. It has continuous experience. If the total level of cards in your level is 5 or higher, this card gets 1500 power and the following ability. When this card attacks, choose one of your other strange characters, and that character gets 1000 power until end of opponent's next turn. Second effect, when this card is frontal attack, look at top card of your deck and put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room. So it's a defensive card for the second ability, and it gives power for the first ability. So it's yeah. And then I'm running 2 copies of Suruga Kombaru. It has 2 effects. First is continuous experience. If the total level of cards is 5 or higher, this card gets 1000 power and hand encore. Second, when this card is placed on stage for hand, you may put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. So it's a healer. So it's a healer and relatively big. And then I have 2 copies of Girl Charmed by a Cat Tsubasa Hanekawa, which is the level 3 assist. All your strange characters in front of this card gets 2000 power and the following ability. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you can pay 1. If you do, put that character on the bottom of your opponent's deck. Second, when a card is placed on stage from your hand, when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can draw 2, choose a card in your hand, and put it into your room. So it's draw 2, ditch 1. So it's a nice filter effect and a nice power boost for the first effect. So that's 2 copies. And then the Shinobu, I'm running at 4 copies. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous experience. If the total level of cards in your level is 6 or higher, this card gets 1000 power and the following ability, continuous. This card cannot be chosen by your opponent's effect, so it's hexproof. And the second effect is when the card is placed on stage from your hand or by change, you can put the top card of your clock into your waiting room, so it heals. So, I have 4 copies of that. And then the last 8 cards are the class cards. I'm running 4 of the +2 soul for the Lovers combo. Let me focus on them. Everything about me. and 4 copies of the 2K Draw Climax Encounter in the Ruins. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check encoredex.com link in the description below to see an overview of this deck build.